What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? I am YouTube's #1 breakup and relationship coach, Brad Browning. Of course, you probably already knew that, didn't you? But let's skip the formalities, though. You could just call me Breakup Brad. That's what my mother calls me anyway. All right, folks, so what is this video going to be all about? Well, one of the most common concerns that I hear from my clients and my subscribers here on YouTube is, why can't I seem to let go of my ex? Right, so that is what I'm going to be talking about right here, right now in this video. I'm going to share 4 common reasons why you're struggling to let go of your ex, why you can't seem to get him or her out of your head, and why all you can think about is getting them back into your arms. Now, please don't go anywhere just yet, because I think for most of you watching, this is going to be a very helpful video. But once you do watch it all the way to the end, take my free quiz at breakupbrad.com/quiz to find out where you stand with your ex. The quiz takes 5 minutes to complete at most, and it actually works. So if you do take a few minutes to answer the questions in the quiz, you're going to get a score and a detailed assessment of your situation and your odds of getting back together with your ex. www.breakupbrad.com/quiz. All right, let's dive into 4 reasons that you simply can't seem to let go of your ex. Number 1, you've never really been in a serious relationship with anyone else. Now, look, guys, I'm saying this isn't really very good for business. After all, I do make a living helping people reunite with their ex. But quite frankly, sometimes people mistake the feeling of not having a partner with missing their ex specifically. In other words, sometimes the heartache that you may be feeling is as much or more about no longer having anyone rather than it is about not having your partner in particular, or your ex in particular. Now, usually this happens when you've had very little dating experience or other romantic partners in the past. Maybe you're still young, in which case I'm jealous, or maybe you just spent most of your adult life with one single partner, your ex. Whatever it is, if you've had really only one serious relationship, then chances are that you may not be fully able to tell the difference between missing a particular person and missing being in a relationship more generally. Now, the emotions and the heartache that you're feeling are just as real either way. But if you are able to determine that it's actually not so much your ex specifically that you're missing like crazy, and it's more that you're missing the feeling of having someone around, of having a partner to talk with and someone to share the more mundane parts of life with, then at least you know that you can begin dating other people and eventually expect to fill that void with someone new. So if you're not sure whether you miss your ex or you just miss being in a relationship more generally, then my free quiz tool should help. And again, if you want to take that, it's at breakupbrad.com/quiz. And I mean, aside from the quiz, it's really tough to offer any further advice other than to sort of, look deep inside yourself or sign up for my one-on-one coaching program so we can talk about it in more detail. To sign up for my coaching program or to learn about working with me one-on-one, just go to breakupbrad.com/coaching. All right, and let's move on to reason number 2, which is that you realize in hindsight that you made mistakes while you were together with your ex, and you know now that you do a much better job of things if you had a second chance. Man, I tell you, if I had $1 for every single email that I received from someone who'd screwed up big time and desperately wanted my help getting a fresh start with their ex, I'd probably have enough dollars to afford a Ferrari 488 GTB. A blue one, preferably with the carbon ceramic brake package. Sadly, that is not how it works, so I'm still short a couple $100,000, but I do think you get the picture. This type of thing is extremely common. Tons of my coaching clients have realized the mistakes that they made during their relationship, whether it's being too clingy, too needy, being disloyal or cheating, or even something as simple as just taking their ex for granted. It's very tough to let go of an ex knowing that you could and should have handled things very differently. Now, for those of you in this situation, I really do sympathize, and I know how difficult it can be to sit there wondering, what if, right? But look, if this is where you're at right now, consider this. You have absolutely nothing to lose by trying to win back your ex. If you play your cards correctly, you take my advice, and you actually use the proven techniques that I recommend, and you stick to it, and for some reason if things actually end up not working out with your ex, hey, at least you gave it your absolute best shot, and you can still take these learnings and apply them to your future relationships either way. Now, if a fair bit of time has already passed since the initial breakup, don't sit around and waste more time dwelling about your past mistakes. Start taking action. Start changing your situation for the better, and begin re-attracting your ex with strategic texts, phone calls, and so on. Now, if you don't already have a clear plan moving forward or you don't know what to do next, either take the free quiz that I mentioned earlier or visit breakupbrad.com and watch the full how-to video on my homepage. Okay, and reason number 3, you've had little or no success with the opposite sex since your breakup. Now, this is also a super common concern that's brought up by my clients and my subscribers here on YouTube. A lot of men and women are actually a bit excited at the idea of being single when they're still in a relationship, or even when they've recently been through a breakup. You know, it's a symptom of the grass is greener syndrome, where you tend to have a more positive outlook on how life would be as a single person, right up until the point where you actually are single and you realize that being on your own comes with its own set of drawbacks that you maybe hadn't forgot about, or you hadn't considered, or maybe you just pushed to the back of your mind. So whether it's been a few weeks or even a year or more since your breakup, don't be shocked if you're not loving the single life as much as you thought you might. Or maybe you just haven't really met anyone that you've been even remotely interested in, and your lack of success in finding somebody new is making you appreciate your ex all that much more. It's not really that surprising when you think about it, because most of us aren't compatible with just anyone, right? You may have to go out with 10 different people before you actually meet someone that you actually want to go on a second date with. Thank goodness for Tinder though, right? Yes, I know, Tinder isn't everyone's cup of tea, and it can be super frustrating when you've broken up with someone only to realize how special the connection that you had with them really was. Now, most of the time, and for the majority of you watching this who are in this kind of situation, it's just a matter of being patient and continuing to be social and go on dates. Eventually, you're going to find somebody who can fill your ex's void and make you truly happy. Or maybe you'll decide that you actually can't stand the idea of being with someone else. In which case, you'll take my advice, you'll use the strategies outlined in my best-selling X Factor program and here on my YouTube channel, and you'll win your ex back for good. Now, whatever road you choose, I'm rooting for you, and I know that you'll find happiness sooner or later. So let's move on to reason number 4, which is you had an incredible connection with your ex, and you know for sure that he or she was the one. All right, so obviously I've saved the most obvious one for last here. And quite frankly, this can either be the easiest or the most challenging situation to find yourself in. Now, first of all, you do need to be certain that the bond that you had with your ex really was something special. Don't trick yourself into believing that just because you're feeling hurt and lonely after the breakup. But if you are confident that your ex was, the one, then the good news is that you know exactly what you need to do. You need to go out and get him or her back. It's as simple as that. Now, assuming that you don't screw things up and unknowingly push them even further away, then it's definitely possible that your ex will come to the same conclusion and suggest to you that you get back together. Now, I personally don't recommend that you take that chance. I suggest you begin to work actively on changing their mind about the breakup using the techniques that I explained in my program and in the full video of my website, breakupbrad.com. Now, the downside to this scenario, of course, is that there's always the chance that you may never get him or her back, which obviously really sucks. But don't dwell on that, ladies and gentlemen. If you do find yourself in this scenario where you know that the special bond you shared with your ex is something that will be nearly impossible to replace, then take action starting today to make sure that that doesn't happen. There's usually plenty of reason to be optimistic anyway. All right, now and on to reason number 5. Nope, there is no number 5, folks. Sorry to disappoint, but you can add your own thoughts in the comments below. Maybe come up with number 5 yourself. And of course, you can also use the comments to ask me a quick question or share your success story. Hell, maybe you just want to insult my shirt or the new backdrop that I'm using for this video. Whatever it is, go for it. Make those comments. Just please hit the subscribe button first. So thank you for watching, thank you for commenting and subscribing, and thank you for heading over to my website, breakupbrad.com, and picking up a copy of my X Factor program. We'll see you guys next time.